Dibisyon ng Biliran Alternative Learning System kasama Kagawaran ng Edukasyon at Kaagapay ang pamahalaan ng probinsya ng Biliran ay buong pusong inihahandog ang programang pangradyo na pinamagatang ALS Radio Eskwela. Ito ay inyong mapapakinggan tuwing Lunes at Biyernes sa ganap na alas 11 hanggang alas 11:30 ng umaga dito lamang sa 103.9 Radyo Natin FM. Walang makahahadlang, walang maiiwan sa Alternative Learning System. Tiyak na may pag-asa, sama-samang lilipad para maabot ang pangarap sa hamong kinakaharap. Patuloy na aangat, edukasyon para sa lahat. Sulong edukalidad. Ito ang DepEd ALS Radio Eskwela ng Dibisyon ng Biliran.
Good morning, Island Paradise of Biliran, and a morning full of hope and optimism to our dear learners and active co-implementers of Alternative Learning System Biliran Division. I am Teacher Ike, your teacher on air for today's episode, and joining me today, my co-pilot, Teacher Ruben. Good morning, Sir Ruben. It's nice to see you again.
A blessed morning, Sir Ike. I personally welcome and express my appreciation to our listeners for always tuning in and following our program, ALS Radio Eskwela. We deliver education within the reach, and we are glad that they are always here with us, listening to every lesson that we discuss. Radio Eskwela is the new trend of delivering lessons in the new normal setup. And I think everyone is very much interested in our program. I am Teacher Ruben, your co-pilot for today's episode. Good morning and happy hearts, everyone. Welcome to Biliran ALS Radio Eskwela. Today is another day for new episode, new topic, new ideas, new learnings, and another flight fully loaded with new insights.
Yes, Ruben. Dear ALS learners, if you want to learn and still have the desire to continue your studies, you can always follow our program, ALS Radio Eskwela, on 103.9 Radio FM Naval. And you can even watch us live on the FB page of this radio station.
Yes, Sir Ike, that's correct. Before we start our regular program, we would like to remind our beloved listeners, especially our ALS learners, that you can not only hear us on 103.9 Radio Natin FM Naval Biliran, you can also listen and watch us on YouTube and live broadcast on the Facebook page of 103.9 Radio Natin FM Naval Biliran.
That is true, Sir Ruben. So dear ALS learners and listeners, inform all your friends that no need to worry for those who cannot listen to us on radio, because they can follow us on YouTube and on live broadcast on the Facebook page of 103.9 Radyo Natin FM Naval Biliran. Alright, is everybody ready now? Sir Ruben, are you now ready to energize yourself and discuss with me our new topic for today? How about our dear listeners, especially our learners? I hope all of you are now ready to stay with us for the whole duration of our program.
Yes, dear listeners, we want to make sure that wherever you are, you feel comfortable and very much ready for another insightful and interesting topic. Start your day with a good nourishment so you can stay with us until the end of our discussion. Now, loosen up, open your mind, and free yourself from any worries and focus to our discussion, for we are about to start.
Get your pen and notebook so you can easily jot down the important facts that you will encounter all throughout the discussion. Last time, in Learning Strand 2, Scientific Literacy and Critical Thinking Skills, we talk about the importance of 5 R's in waste management, which are reduce, reuse, recycle, recover, and repair. For today's lesson, we will be discussing the classification of plants according to their habitat. Let me say it again. Today, we will be discussing the classification of plants according to their habitat. So sit back, relax, and enjoy listening and at the same time learning new ideas. Are you now ready to learn? Let's go!
Yes, Sir Ike. I believe that our listeners are very much excited to learn new things today. But before we move on, let us give first the question in our Tanong Ko, Sagot Mo. And reminder to all listeners, the first person who can text or comment the correct answer will receive 50 pesos worth of load. Again, the first person who can text or comment the correct answer will receive 50 pesos worth of load. Sponsored by one of our co-implementers here in the Division of Biliran, Ma'am Rosalia T. Mendoza, District ALS Coordinator of Kabukgayan District 2. Thank you so much, Ma'am Rosalia.
Yes, thank you so much for the load, Ma'am Rosalia. So dear learners, listen carefully and attentively to our discussion so you can give us the correct answer and win 50 pesos worth of load. Now, here is the question for our Tanong Ko, Sagot Mo.
What do you call on plants that live on land, water, and air? Again, what do you call on plants that live on land, water, and air?
Kindly text your correct answer with your complete name and address to 0906-923-6812. Again, kindly text your correct answer with your complete name and address to 0906-923-6812. For our viewers on Facebook Live, you can also join the game. Just type the correct answer with your complete name, address, and cell phone number on our comment box. Again, to our viewers on Facebook Live, you can type your correct answer with your complete name, address, and cell phone number on our comment box so you can also win 50 pesos worth of load.
Yes, that is right, Sir Ike. So, dear learners, listen well to our discussion to be able to know the correct answer. Jot down the important details because you will need it in answering the question that will be given to you after our discussion. Okay, before we go on to our main topic, let us hear first a dialogue from two housewives talking about their plans.
Kamusta na?
Eto, okay lang. Busy sa pananim.
Wow, marami din na pala mga tanim dito, Mare.
Oo, marami-rami na rin, Mare. May mga iba't ibang klase na nga ako ng pananim eh. Ang mga pananim na yan ay nabubuhay sa lupa. Ang tawag sa kanila ay terrestrial plants. Itong San Francisco na ito. Di ba ang ganda?
Wow, meron din akong ganito sa amin, Mare.
May mga pananim rin ako nga hindi nabubuhay sa lupa, Mare. Kasi yung aerial plants, Mare.
Ah, orchids. Anong klaseng orchids to, Mare?
Yan ang tinatawag na banda. Meron rin ako mga pananim na aquatic plants, Mare. Ang mga pananim na nabubuhay sa tubig. Halika, puntahan natin.
Have you understand the dialogue? What is the dialogue all about? Alright, dear learners, let's start now with our discussion. Earth is the only place in the universe that has life because of the oxygen that we breathe in. Plants are all around us. They are essential to human life. They provide us oxygen, food, and they even provide us shelter. Plants can be seen everywhere. You can see them on the ground, on water, or even on top of the trees. This morning, we're going to discuss about plants, but we are going to focus on the classification of plants according to their habitat. We will discuss the different kinds of plants according to the place where they grow. Are you familiar of the plants that surround you? Wow, it's good that you're familiar with these kinds of plants. Have you observed what kind of plant grows in water? Where do you think other plants grow and live? How do they differ from each other?
Yes, dear learners, I believe that we should know how to classify plants according to their habitats for us to fully understand each kind of plant so that we can give them the proper care and cultivation. So, for today's lesson, we will discuss how to classify plants according to their habitat, where they grow and live. Do you want to know more about them? Very good! Then stay tuned and we will go deeper into our discussion to know more about the classification of plants.
A plant is a living thing that grows in the ground, water, and on air. There are plants that can grow in a specific environment and adapt themselves to the natural setting for their survival. Like what you have heard from the dialogue, plants are classified according to habitat or to where they grow and live. The three classification of plants according to their habitats are terrestrial plants, aquatic plants, and aerial plants. Again, the three classification of plants according to their habitat are terrestrial plants, aquatic plants, and aerial plants.
Plants that grow on, in air, or from land are called terrestrial plants. Terrestrial plants are land-dwelling invasive plants and it include non-native plants which are members of the kingdom Plantae. They grow in non-aquatic habitats, including agricultural fields, rangelands, forests, urban landscapes, wildlands, and along waterways. Terrestrial plants include trees, shrubs, vines, grasses, and herbaceous plants. Some examples for terrestrial plants are mango trees, banana, bamboo tree, roses, etc. Again, plants that grow on in or from land are called terrestrial plants, which terrestrial plants are land-dwelling invasive plants and it include non-native plants which are members of the kingdom Plantae. They grow in non-aquatic habitats including agricultural fields, rangelands, forests, urban landscapes, wildlands, and along waterways. Terrestrial plants include trees, shrubs, vines, grasses, and herbaceous plants. Some examples of these are mango trees, banana, bamboo tree, roses, etc.
While plants that live in water are called aquatic plants. Aquatic plants are plants that have adapted to living in aquatic environment like in salt water or fresh water. Aquatic plants require special adaptations for living submerged in water or at the surface area. Aquatic plants can only grow in water or in soil that is frequently saturated with water. They are therefore common component of wetlands. Some examples of these are water lilies, lotus, and kangkong. Again, all plants that live in water are called aquatic plants. Aquatic plants are plants that have adapted to living in aquatic environment like in salt water or fresh water. Aquatic plants require special adaptation for living submerged in water or at the surface area. Aquatic plants can only grow in water or in soil that is frequently saturated with water. They are therefore common components of wetlands. Some examples of these are water lilies, lotus, and kangkong.
The third one is plant that grows above the ground or on air are called aerial plants. Aerial plants are commonly called air plants because they take water and nutrients though small hairs called trichomes on their leaves from rain, fog, and dust. Most aerial plants are found in tropical and equatorial regions of the world. In evergreen forest and rainforest, the foliage is so thick that some plants have evolved aerial roots to allow them to absorb more sunlight. The development of aerial roots is thus an evolutionary process. Examples of these are orchids, monstera, and eagle wings. Again, aerial plants are commonly called air plants because they take water and nutrients through small hairs called trichomes on their leaves from rain, fog, and dust. Most aerial plants are found in tropical and equatorial regions of the world. In evergreen forest and rainforest, the foliage is so thick that some plants have evolved aerial roots to allow them to absorb more sunlight. The development of aerial roots is thus an evolutionary process. Examples of this are orchids, monstera, and eagle wings.
Dear listeners and followers, did you understand our discussion? I hope everyone have an understand and have taken down the important details of what we have discussed. So now, how are you going to classify the plants? Very good! Today, we have learned that we can classify plants according to their habitat, namely, terrestrial plants are those plants that grow and live on land. Aquatic plants are those plants that grow and live in water. And aerial plants are those plants that grow and live on air.
Now, to make sure if you really understood our discussion and to know how much you have learned about our lesson this morning, we are going to have a short test. Get your pen and paper and be ready. Are you now ready? Very good. For this activity, you have to identify the classification of plants according to their habitat by writing terrestrial if the plant grows in land, aquatic if the plant grows in water, and aerial if the plant grows on air. Again, identify the classification of plants according to their habitats by writing terrestrial if the plant grows on land, aquatic if plant grows in water, and aerial if the plant grows on air. Number 1. Bitter gourd. Bitter gourd is known as ampalaya. In terms of nutritional contents, the fruits and leaves of the ampalaya are rich in minerals and vitamins, iron, calcium, phosphorus, and vitamin B. Again, for number 1, bitter gourd is known as ampalaya. In terms of nutritional contents, the fruits and leaves of ampalaya are rich in minerals and vitamins, iron, calcium, phosphorus, and vitamin B.
Number 2. Chico. Chico is a fruit with plump, dark colored skin and grainy sweetness. Is an energy provider, good source of antioxidants, anti-inflammatories, helps in digestion, good for the bones and moms-to-be. It controls weight, rich in vitamin A and C, and has beauty benefits. Again, for number 2, Chico. Chico is a fruit with plump dark colored skin and grainy sweetness, is an energy provider, good source of antioxidants, anti-inflammatory, helps in digestion, good for the bones and moms-to-be. It controls weight, rich in vitamin A and C, and has beauty benefits.
Number 3. Orchids. Orchids are diverse and widespread family of flowering plants with blooms that are often colorful and fragrant. Again, for number 3, orchids. Orchids are diverse and widespread family of flowering plants with blooms that are often colorful and fragrant.
Number 4. Seaweed. Seaweed is highly nutritious plant. It's extremely versatile and can be used in many dishes including sushi rolls, soups and stews, salad supplements, and smoothies. Again, for number 4, seaweed. Seaweed is highly nutritious plant, is extremely versatile and can be used in many dishes, including sushi rolls, soups and stews, salad supplements, and smoothies.
And last for number 5, water lily. Water lily is an ornamental plant with large round floating leaves and large typically cup-shaped floating flowers. Again, for number 5, water lily. Water lilies are ornamental plants with large round floating leaves and large typically cup-shaped floating flowers. Are you done now? Did you get the correct answer? Very good!
How was the activity? Do you think you coped up well with our discussion? Excellent! Now, let us check your answer. Let it start with number 1. Bittergourd or Ampalaya. The answer for this is terrestrial, because bittergourd or Ampalaya grows and live on land and any type of soil. However, for optimum profit, grow Ampalaya in sandy loam or clay loam soils with a good drainage and high organic matter. Again, the answer for number 1 is terrestrial.
For number 2, Chico. The correct answer for number 2 is terrestrial, because Chico grows in land and grows best at low and medium elevations. It is a tropical tree, so it needs full sun. Again, the answer for number 2 is terrestrial.
Now, for the third plant, orchids. The answer for this is aerial, because in the natural habitats, they attach themselves to the bark of trees or on the surface of other plants, and they usually grow high in the trees rather than on the forest floors. They are accustomed to good air circulation and plenty of light. Again, the answer for number 3 is aerial.
How about for number 4, seaweed? The answer for this is aquatic, because seaweed can survive in many different water environments, but always requires a solid surface from which to grow. Again, the answer for number 4 is aquatic.
And for the last item, number 5, water lily. The answer is aquatic, because water lilies grow and live in water. They are family of flowering plants and they live in a rhizomatous aquatic herbs and temperate and tropical climate around the world. Again, the answer for number 5 is aquatic.
So how was it, dear learners? Did you get a perfect score? Excellent! You got a high score. But if not, and you only got 3 correct answers and below, don't worry, because we still have another activity. Just do your best for the next activity.
For today's final activity, read the direction carefully on the worksheet provided by your implementer. Again, for today's final activity, read the direction carefully on the worksheet provided by your implementer. For those learners who haven't not been given a worksheet yet, we will read the statement twice, so listen carefully.
Direction: list down 10 plants for each classifications according to their habitats. For letter A, terrestrial plants. For letter B, aquatic plants. For letter C, aerial plants. Again, list down 10 plants for each classification according to their habitat. For letter A, terrestrial plants. For letter B, aquatic plants. And for letter C, aerial plants.
Examine the leaves of plants that grow in soil, water, and air and differentiate each plant. Again, examine leaves of plants that grow in soil, water, and air and differentiate each plant. Write your answer on in your paper and notebook.
Did you get it? Very good. To our beloved learners, you can continue answering your activity after this episode. Then submit your activity sheets to your implementer for your next session.
That's all for today's discussion, our dear ALS learners. But before we end our session for today, we will announce first who will receive the 50 pesos worth of load. Do we have the winner now, Sir Ruben?
Yes, Sir Ike. And our winner for today's Tanong Ko Sagot Mo is no other than Neil J. Cuevas from Barangay Victory, Caibiran. And his answer is terrestrial, aquatic, and aerial. Again, congratulations to Neil J. Cuevas. You got the correct answer.
For those unlucky winners, don't worry because our Tanong Ko Sagot Mo will continue on the next episode of ALS Radio Eskwela. Please tune in again to 103.9 Radyo Natin FM on February 5, 2021. Still on the same time, 11 to 11:30 in the morning for another exciting and insightful discussion.
To our beloved learners, if you have any questions or clarifications, don't be shy. Feel free to text, call, or chat your ALS implementers for more information.
This is Teacher Ike, which leaves you a message. Let us remember that during these trying times, we all raise our yellow flags, hoping and praying for this shall end the soonest. And while we hope for the best to come, we can start investing in the cultivation of our soil by growing our own plants. Who knows that when the pandemic is over, your plants have bloomed into their best forms, making your house the coziest and homiest place to be.
And this is Teacher Ruben saying, don't be zombies. Spending your whole time at your homes lying on your beds and allotting it to more screen activities. Reduce your screen time by trying activities that involves your body and mind. Leave your gadgets, grab that trowel, hop to your garden and start planting. Remember that in this trying time, going green has become an essential part in surviving the new normal.
Stay safe, God bless, and once again, good morning.
If you feel so inclined, we'll take you to you next time. Have a great day, everyone, and happy hearts.
Our town, our radio, radyo natin.
Hi! This is Sarah Geronimo for MX3. Isa sa pinakamagandang sinunod ko sa magulang ko ang pag-inom ng MX3. 2 years nang umiinom si Daddy ng MX3 capsule. Nakakabilib kasi may clinical trial, tested, and proven. Ako, hiyang sa MX3 Plus and MX3T. Like father, like daughter. MX3 araw-araw, tunay, natural, at orihinal.
Mahalagang paalala, ang MX3 capsule ay hindi gamot at hindi dapat gamiting panggamot sa anumang uri ng sakit.
Ikaw, anong kwentong Marcafe mo?
Ako po si Edna Labagis Caprente. 62 years old na po, Tagalaon. Sisiwala mo po Marinduque. Sa ibang kape, siyempre iba. Tapos nung nag-inom na po ako ng Marcafe, nasigla. Tapos yung kabog ko po sa dibdib, nawala. Gumamit na po kayo ng Marcafe. Sabi sa kalusugan. Sarap ang Marcafe po sa tutulan.
Isend na ang natatanging kwentong Marcafe sa ating Marcafe official FB page sa ating hashtag kwentong Marcafe. Ikaw